So we are talking about here nature of the patient according to the Dharma. So nature of the patient means with a great faith, with a great compassion of the Bodhisattva mind, and understanding emptiness, and then whatever directly, indirectly feeds your mind, you believe all these are created by the fundamental ignorance. And when something is created by fundamental ignorance, so there is always something, appearance and reality. So our mind most concentrate 95% on the appearance, maybe 5% we see the realities. So when our mind concentrates 95% on the appearance, it's not true, it's exaggerate. So therefore, it means not necessarily in order to achieve the realization of patient, object of the enemy is completely subside. Enemy, there are plenty enemy. So the point here is Shantideva said, if you subdue the internal enemy, then you will subdue the external enemy, completely subside. In the Shantideva said, in the Guide to the Bodhisattva way of life, there is no enemy like hatred. There is no hero like passion. So hatred is the greatest enemy, because if you learn about if you know about the anger, and if you know about the result of anger, then you will apply the noble Dharma. Anger do not arise, right? So if you learn about the disadvantage of anger, result of anger. So anger will destroy yourself and others. It will destroy yourself, means it will destroy your peace, calm mind, which you don't want, but anger will destroy. And it will destroy others, means other people, around friends, founded you, all are unhappy, when somebody is angry. So therefore, if we learn about the disadvantage and the result of anger, then we will apply the antidote. Anger does not arise, right? So it's kind of like making your mind more shape, making kind of like when we talk about patient, we are training our mind. Training our mind means making your mind more flexible, strengthen your mind from looking from different aspects, make your mind more powerful. To do this, so what we need, first we need stabilizing the mind. Once you stabilizing the mind, then you analyze the problem. So generally we are talking about the two meditation, single pointed meditation, which stabilize and make your mind more firm, steady. Then you analyze the problem. Analytical, the definition analytical meditation is understanding deeper about object of your meditation. So if you are meditating on the patient, so what is the object of patient? Then things like that. So it means that that here Shantideva says, unruly beings are as unlimited as space. They cannot possibly all be overcome. However, if I overcome the thought of anger alone, this will equivalent to the vanquishing all the force. So this give you example of, you cannot cover whole earth with leather, leather. Impossible, How can you cover whole earth with leather? But if you wear the shoes, right? Shoes, this will help you to protect you from all the thorns and things like that. So this is similar, If you subdue the anger, then you will subdue enemy. Enemy. So just like here is, where would I possibly find enough leather with which to cover the surface of the earth? Yet wearing leather just on the sole of my shoes is equivalent to cover the earth with. So you can go everywhere with wearing the shoes. You want to go to India, wear the shoes. America, wear the shoes. Everywhere, right? It's similar, So it is just good example, like if you control the internal enemy anger, then similar, just like wearing the shoes. So that's so here when we talk about the anger, all this comes from mind, right? It means when you subdue the mind, less anger, And if your mind is not subdued, then no anger arises. So first, very important is we have to think about the bad result of anger, and also think about how anger destroy yourself as well as destroy others. So when you think people don't want pain and suffering, there's expression in Tibet, when the conch shell is blocked, we have to blow up, like that. People hanging on, keeping inside, and just like conch shell, it's blocked, we have to blow up the conch shell. So like that, if you keep in your mind, right, somebody did this, keep your mind. If you use analytical meditation, if you are using logical meditation, it will only hurt you, right? Nothing can't hurt enemies. So therefore, it is very important. First, we need to stabilize the mind more. So, stabilize the mind means you may have choose the object of meditation and then observe your mind to the meditation object with no thoughts, just your meditation object and your mind become oneness. Just like every time when you talk about this kind of meditation, just remember you automatically. For example, like when hungry people remember food, thirsty people remember water, thirsty, hungry. And so ordinary level, it's kind of like concentration, changing your mental attitude with the concentration. For example, like ordinary perspective, if you see the good qualities of your friend, affection arises. This kind of concentration in your mind, concentrating good quality of your friend, affection arises, love arises. If you concentrate the bad qualities of enemy, emotion arises. You're concentrating like. So one side, strong, if you're thinking you have, and then thinking good qualities of your friend, affection arises. The more you deeply analyze your friend, and you are deeply analyzing long time enemies. And then because feeling is completely dominant by the mind, your mind is dominated by the kinds of feeling, right? And enemy have some good quality, but you will never see these qualities because the feeling is completely dominant by your mind. So similar, so this kind of like when Shantideva talk about the practicing patience, it's kind of like concentrating, right? Concentrating and stabilizing the mind. And number two, analyzing the mind. Now let us talk about this one. So everything coming from the mind, right? So everything coming from the mind. So we have teachings in Tibet saying like this. There's meditation on the mind, right? Number one is understanding the mind of immediacy or the natural state of mind. Number two, three key points means absence of contrivance, right? Contrivance, right? CONTI. Absence of kind of like do not produce anything from the mind, absence of distraction, absence of meditation. And then number three is mind, three body, The nature of mind is spontaneously emptiness, luminous, and unobstructedness. There's no obscuration, And then integration and transmutation of thoughts and emotions. So when we meditate on these 4 points, we will be able to control our mind. So patience coming from the mind, joyful effort coming from the mind. But in order to realize they are coming from the mind, what kind of mind? So here we are talking. Everyone, believe mind. No matter, doesn't matter whether believer or non-believer. Nobody will reject the mind, right? Mind. It is said. It is said in Tibet, too close to be recognized. We use mind every day. It is very close to us. Too close to be recognized. Mind is always feeling recognition, too close to be recognized. Too deep to grasp, Too deep to grasping, So when we talk about too deep to grasp, what kind of mind we are talking about, right? We are talking about this clear, luminous, emptiness mind. Very deep to grasp. Deep to grasp means deep to experience. Too easy to believe, everyone believe mind, Everyone talking about doesn't matter, right? People believe mind. No mind, no feeling, right? Mind and body is connected. When mind leaves the body, then dead body, right? So as long as the mind is there, then you're alive. When mind goes, no feeling. So everyone believes mind. But to imagine, to be understood intellectually, understanding mind, we are not talking about our ordinary mind. We use ordinary mind every day, When we wake up early morning, we use ordinary mind. Feeling, seeing, thought, emotions, smelling, all this, right? We use mind. But this clear awareness mind is very difficult to imagine. Understanding is quite amazing, I mean, if you understand the mind, it will give you ultimate joy, ultimate happiness. So here, number one is, we used to say in Tibet, still water is clear, right? Water is clear, water. Then water, nature is never polluted. It is clear, right? And mind free of strain is happy. So when the mind free is just like that, right? When the mind is dominated by, you can see, like, if you feel happy, some kind of joyful, you feel joy, bliss, your mind calm. If your mind is disturbed, disturbing emotions, just like polluted mind, you feel different, isn't it? So the mind free from the strain. So that means when we talk about the meditating on the mind, right, we are talking about first understanding that mind of immediacy, or we call the natural emptiness mind. Natural emptiness mind. So when you want to see this mind, right? So morning you start meditation, right? So meditation, it means completely relaxing your mind, completely. Do not force your mind, or completely relaxing your mind. When the mind is completely relaxed, we will see the well-being of the mind. Well-being of the mind, right? When we see the well-being of the mind, it means it is quite clear and luminosity. When you see, so when you start meditation, completely relaxing your mind, this will open the well-being of the mind. Well-being of the mind, when you open the well-being of the mind, you will see the mind clear and luminosity. When the mind is clear and luminosity, right, it is completely free from external and internal fixation. There is no fix. Just no, but do not control. It will completely free from outer and inner fixation. Remain calm without control. Then the question is, when we meditate something like that, because of our dualistic experience, taking away the luminous of the mind, right? Ignorant mind is darkness mind, right? Ignorant mind is darkness. The clear nature of the mind is kind of like light, dispel the ignorance. So when we are meditating something like this, because of our fundamental ignorance, it will take away our luminosity of the mind, but you should keep going, concentrating with the strong vigilant, with the mindfulness. Keep going, not giving up, Eventually, it becomes transparent and luminous. When the mind becomes more transparent and luminous, you should remain on the present state of mind, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, just not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, just remain your mind, present state of mind. When you remain your mind, present state of mind, right, then you will realize it comes from itself. State do not produce anything from the mind. When you produce, thought arises. Right? When you're thinking, then thought, conceptual mind. So do not produce anything from the mind. If you do not produce anything from the mind will remain in the present state. This is number one, right? Number two is absence of distraction. Now keep going. When your mind is keep going, remaining on the present state of mind, maybe ordinary mind will sometimes dominate our mind. Then when ordinary mind dominates the mind, then mind is distracted with the sensory object. Then you lose then you will lose the present state of mind. So absence of distraction, one is this, right? Absence of distraction, one means you lose vigilant during meditation period. Absence of mean number two, right? Number three is absence of meditation. Absence of meditation means when you realize it comes from itself, right, then don't need to do anything. It's natural. You don't need any effort to do the practice of meditation because it is natural. Natural, like somebody remembering the food. Natural, somebody remembering. People who are hungry, just food is natural remembering. Who are thirsty, something like that. This is the number 2 point. Number 3 point is mind, 3 bodies, which is when we talk about this natural mind, right? Spontaneously, emptiness, luminous, and unobstructedness. Emptiness, mind empty, when we talk about spontaneously emptiness, right? Emptiness is wisdom body, truth body of the Buddha. Buddha, 3 bodies of Buddha, right? Wisdom body, complete enjoyment body, and emanation body. So the emptiness is, mind emptiness means mind is empty, right? It is empty of no physical touch, no shape, no color, right? Yet experience, like luminosity is clear knowing object, when we clear knowing object, right? And unobstructedness is experience the object. When you know the object, you will experience the object, right? So these 3, spontaneous and emptiness, luminosity, and unobstructedness, is inseparable, simultaneously arises from the nature of the mind. So these 3 have qualities of the 3 Buddhas. Emptiness has the quality of the truth, wisdom body, Buddha. Luminosity has the quality of the complete enjoyment body. And unobstructedness has the quality of the emanation body. So this, we are talking about mind, 3 body. Now this is, when we hear number 4, is integration and transmutation of thoughts and emotions. When we start meditation from the beginning, it is just like thoughts, emotions are just like boiling water. Just very difficult to to control the thought and emotions. But when you start meditation, right? Meditation on the mind. Thought, emotion arise, right? And then they are just like boiling water, right? And through your meditation, then you will learn about these thought and emotions and learn about I will not follow. You learn about thought emotions. Thought emotions appears to the mind through my detached observation, I will not follow. Instead, I will be alert about the thought and emotions. No matter what kind of thought, emotion arise, right? I will be very alert, very careful. And using these kind of like your detached observation, then eventually, no matter what kind of thought appears to your mind, you feel like no beneficial, no harmful, And then that is very good sign, like no matter what kind of thought appears to your mind, no beneficial, no harmful. All are manifestation of this emptiness mind. If all these are manifestation of emptiness mind, through my observation, they will be subside to the mind. They are the manifestation of the mind. They will be subside to the mind. They will be just like a rainbow, light comes in a stretch. Just like ocean waves arise and rising back to the ocean. Thought emotions arising from the mind and back to the mind, back to the mind. So when you, through meditation, if you are able to recognize something like this, so this is what we are talking about. Patience comes from the mind. Joyful effort comes from the mind. So what kind of mind is this kind of mind? Mind of immanency. 3 key points. Mind, 3 bodies, integration and transmutation of thought and emotion. Thought and emotions are so when we do the detached observation, then we will not grasp on the thought. Instead, we apply alertness, be aware of thought. When you are paying, be aware of thought, then thought will subside back to the mind. If you grasp the thought, it will remain hanging on, this kind of, you may have all this bad memory, good memory, all this thought. When you are hanging and grasping on the thought, will not let your thought to be subside. But when you do the meditation, then it will eventually able to control your thoughts and emotion. But to do this, we have to do these 2 kind of meditation. Single pointed meditation, stabilizing the mind. Analytical meditation will be able to deeper understanding of how to do your meditation. Thank you, everyone.